Okay, so I'm making a very different video this time around, and obviously it's Boku no Hero Academia Fiend by the title, and I'm just gonna say right now, people need to calm down. Just people need to calm down. Like, legit. Just, people need to calm down. And why I'm saying this is because of the recent events of Boku no Hero Academia. So, before we go any further, if you are an anime only, and clicked on this video, do not watch this. There's a lot of spoilers here, okay? So, I don't want to spoil you. So, anyways. After the latest chapter of Boku no Hero Academia, the manga, not the spin-off, but the main manga, many have been freaking out. Now, I understand why many would freak out. I even stated the reason in my last review I did of the latest chapter. However, even though it's understandable why people would be worried, many are going as far as to call the series terrible, has plot holes, no sense of threat, oh, this is fairy tale now, or, oh, I guess, death doesn't mean anything, just, oh, I guess, Togata, you losing his quirk doesn't matter anymore. I'm just seeing so many assumptions and people, putting down the latest chapter. I feel like there's a cycle going on here, and I guess this is very relevant to the recent events that happened in Tokyo Ghoul as well. Now, I'm not going to necessarily get into spoilers for Tokyo Ghoul since it's a Boku no Hero video, but in the recent, weeks, there was a chapter that came out and all that, chapter 143 of Tokyo Ghoul, that made fans just seethe. Like, they had rage foaming out the mouth. Like, they were foaming out the mouth because of how the chapter was done, and many were just straight angry, and they were going as far as to put Ishida down and get angry with him on Twitter, putting him down on social media, just all over the place. People were just hating on Ishida because of what he did in chapter 143. Next week came around, Ishida basically just pulled a middle finger, said, okay, guys, look, you guys were just, taking it too far, and you clearly could not wait for the clarification of what really happened when the next chapter came around. And that's basically what's going on here. It's a very similar circumstance. Everybody right now that is just calling the latest chapter of Boku no Hero Academia a plot hole, or all sense of threat is gone now, or just saying it's a bad series now, need to understand, stop assuming things, and understand that it doesn't automatically mean that Eri is going to be able to do the things that we're assuming she can do, because there is a lot of clarification that is needed for Eri. Now, I'm kind of a little bit sad I gotta make a video even discussing this, but it's just such a big topic right now. Many are discussing it and just, straight up hounding this series, saying it is not good because of what just happened. Now, like I said, I understand why people were worried. However, to go as far as to call the series bad, and now no threat, it's fairy tale and all that, I'm like, no, you're taking too far. You're reminding me of what happened for the Tokyo Ghoul chapter. It's the exact same thing. Chapter 144 came around, everybody that was making fun of chapter 143 put their own foot in their mouth. That's basically what happened when that chapter released. And so I feel like before, we all assume things, we need to understand that not a lot of things have been clarified. So I want to dive into things, okay? So, what's got everybody upset? Why is everybody upset in the first place? To clarify, everybody's upset that Eri's quirk rewind, or some were telling me that the proper translation is undo, and it actually is a quirk that only affects quirks, which I'll get to that in a moment. But basically, many are upset because of this quirk that Eri has, the ability to rewind things. Now, when it comes to Boku no Hero Academia, if you have any knowledge of the series, you can even be an anime only, you should be very aware that when it comes to quirks, there is always some form of limitation. Just think about this arc in general, okay? Let's just take a moment to think about this arc in general. Togata is a big character that was introduced recently, and we have seen that he has many limits. So many limits, in fact, that negatively affect him. Like, he can't see, he can't hear, he literally has no sensory, projections at all. He can't see or feel anything when he uses his quirk, or when he had his quirk. And there was a lot of downsides to that. His quirk was insanely OP, but thanks to Horikoshi giving this man limitations and explaining it, it made it to where it was no longer as broken. Then you look at Night Eye. Night Eye has the ability to see into the future, but he has a lot of restrictions and limitations to it as well. He can only see one person at one time per day per 24 hours, and he has to put his hand on them, which is a very dangerous and risky move. But then on top of that, when he sees the future, he cannot apparently change it. So there's just so many restrictions to his power that makes a perfectly overpowered ability normally in a shonen very balanced. And there you go. That's what happened. So that's just two recent examples. That's not even talking about like Izuku. Izuku has one for all within him. And every time he tries to use his power over a certain limit, he shatters his bones like paper mache. So what I'm getting at is before people start thinking that Eri is capable of rewinding everything, rewinding her rewind, which it doesn't make any sense. There's just no way she could rewind a rewind. That doesn't make sense. Rewinding a VHS and all that, you can't rewind a VHS of rewinding it or whatever. It's just there's a stopping point, a ground zero. And so what I'm getting at is just there has not been any clarification whatsoever. And so people need to just chill. Chill. Okay? Just chill. Like, please, just chill. I don't know why. I don't know why everybody is acting like automatically it's just bad. And now, I will tell you right now, I will eat my own foot, okay? I'll put my own foot in my mouth if for some reason Eri is broken and has no limitations, then I will agree with everyone. I will straight up agree, and I'll understand why they're worried. But for now, though, before we start judging the series, and before we start saying that Eri can do this, she can do that, oh, she has no limitations, she can do everything and all that, she can bring someone back, we need to wait until things are explained, which is bound to happen. Also, let's think about what's already been established as well. When someone gains a quirk, even if it is broken, they don't automatically have a mastery of their quirk. They don't. That's why they gotta go to school. That's why they train and learn with it. And, it becomes a part of their being. It's not like, using a weapon or a tool. It's literally a part of themselves. That's what has been established so many times throughout the series. And so many need to understand, even if Eri's ability is broken, she has no idea how to control it. No idea. None at all. So, we don't even know how it activates. We can assume it's probably the horn and all that on her head, but we don't really know how it activates. We don't know if there's a time limit to it. We don't know if there's like a certain limit to how many times she can use it on a person. We don't know. So anyways, let me get into something that someone brought to my attention, okay? I already briefly mentioned it in this video, but I want to go more in depth with it. So basically, many of you told me in the YouTube comments and on Twitter, told me that apparently the translation for rewind was not proper. Apparently it was like closer to undo than anything else, but also the description of it, the way it was done and how someone else translated it, apparently Eri can only affect someone else's quirk. Now, let me explain, okay? Apparently from the fan translation, which, like I said, this is an official translation, so there is a possibility that this is inaccurate as well. It's very inaccurate. Until we have an official translation and official confirmation from Horikoshi himself within the chapter, then it's just a guessing game at this point. However, another translation basically states that Eri's ability is undo, and it can only rewind someone's quirk. So, she can't rewind someone's injuries. I know many of you say, whoa, hold it, Chibi, wait a minute. They separate, they're no longer the same person. How is that their quirk? That's the thing. The explanation, the fan translation apparently, for this, apparently, if Eri uses her ability, her quirk, on someone, and she reverses them, it attacks their quirk. And in this case, when Overhaul fused with someone, since he merged and created like a new being, when she put her hand on him, or used her ability however she used it, how to activate it, she removed that version, that being's existence entirely. She literally changed and made that creature no longer exist. And that's what separated them two. It wasn't the fact that she reversed the fusion, she literally reversed that being's very existence, which in turn went back to the beginning to when they were their own separate people. So, let's take for an example, okay, let's assume that you have a quirk to where it changes your overall structure of your body. Let's let's think about Tokoyami, okay? Tokoyami, he has like a bird-like face, okay? He literally has, you know, dark shadow and all that, but his structure of his body is completely changed. And we have found out, it's already been established, that the reason why so many people's appearances are different is because when the quirk is active and when they're born, the quirk factor within them automatically starts when they first are born. And so they automatically have their quirk. It doesn't awaken around like age 4 or whatever. Like, let's say, you know, you have the ability to use fire, and maybe it could take around like age 2, 3, or 4 to when you finally are able to use your quirk. But in these cases, when someone is born with like a monstrous like body, like a different body structure, and if Eri was to put her hand or use her ability or however to rewind them, it would phase them out of existence. And that's apparently how it works from the fan translation. Now, once again, I want to reinstate the fact that this is a fan translation. This is not an official translation, so this could be very inaccurate as well. But from what many are saying, and I've been told, if her ability does work like this, it would make a lot of sense. So if someone doesn't have a quirk, okay, and she was to try to rewind them, it would phase them out of existence. Or, in this case, if someone had, you know, a quirk that changed their very structure of their body, they were born like that since, like, day 1, then also that would phase them out of existence, since she removes the quirk. And when she removes the quirk, it basically makes it to where they no longer exist. And so it would explain the rats. Why the rat disappeared is because when Eri used her ability on it, it phased the rat out of existence because it never had a quirk to begin with, and so it just ceased to exist. So if someone like Izuku was to get hit by the ability, he probably would... He'd probably actually die. He would probably get erased. He wouldn't go back to not having the quirk. He would probably get erased because he was never born with a quirk factor. And he was one of those rare species of humans that are in this day and age. So he would probably, you know, get erased completely. So what's going on here is the people that Eri doesn't kill are the ones that actually activate their quirk many years down the road. Someone like Togata, how he eventually gains his quirk maybe around the age of 2, 3, or 4, or whatever. That's when, you know, they're completely fine. However, if Eri was probably to touch him again, he would die. If she can, you know, rewind again once he's already, you know, lost his quirk. If she could do it again, that would mean that he would definitely die since he no longer has it. Unless, literally, like I said, it only affects the quirk factor. So that's what I want to get at. Basically, the clarification here is that if she apparently can only affect the quirk. She can't actually affect the body or anything like that. It's similar to Aizawa, she doesn't actually rewind everything like healing or anything. She can only rewind quirks. And so if the quirk was there at day 1, you're gonna die. If you got it at age 4, then you'll just be like reversed to the point where a quirk no longer existed. Which eventually maybe the quirk could pop up if, you know, you were still alive after the existence of it. Just, you're probably set to like maybe age 0, and then you gotta wait a couple years for it to finally come back once again. So that's what I want to get at. So, yeah. Anyways, like I said, people just need to calm down. People need to stop freaking out about everything that's happened in the latest chapter and realize that Horikoshi's already proved himself time and time again throughout this series that he's a good writer. Yes, he does have some cliches. I'm not going to deny that. But at the same time, though, he has proven that he loves to flirt with the cliches in a way to where he kind of ventures away from them and does it with its own unique twist. And, like I said, just don't be judging the book by its cover or the chapter by its cover until we get clarification. Anyways, I want to end it there, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about, you know, everybody's thoughts on what's been going on? Do you think that Eri is a plot hole or whatever, it's bad, making the series bad like Fairy Tail or whatever? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like my video, please leave a like. And if for some reason you don't like it, well, obviously leave a dislike as well. I won't fault you for that. So you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.